Welcome back. Welcome back. So I just gave a dope ass lesson. I love bringing people to awareness. So I just seen somebody I ain't seen in a really long time, right? And we was talking, catching up, chopping it up a little something, and I made him aware of everyone in the world's fake, in a way, even myself. He said, "What?" I said, "What you mean?" I said, "When it comes to talking, the truth hurts." You know what I'm saying? And he said, "Yeah, that's true. You know, you can't always tell somebody the truth." And I said, "Yeah." I said, "It's besides that. Like, when you think of that, you thinking of people you dislike or whatever." I said, "No, even with your friends, your family." I said, "Everybody puts a mask on. As soon as you wake the fuck up, niggas be lying." He said, "What you mean?" I said, "Come on, dog. You ain't never sat in a conversation with somebody, and as they're talking, you could be an orange guy. He could be a fucking apple guy, and you could, you know, and you could be arguing about which one's better and da 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 da." And I said, within a couple of seconds, because you have a bias, that's your style. That's what you like. When they object to the thing that you like, which would make it a part of you, it's what you like, you will be offended and say, in your mind, you fucking crazy, or you're, this thing crazy. I don't know what the fuck he talking about. Oranges taste like shit. Apples is the shit. This nigga crazy. He's gonna say the same thing while you're pleading your case. It's the same thing no matter what lifestyle, whatever the fuck it is. And I said, true freedom is being able to actually take that mask off and not give a fuck about what the other person thinks anyway. Not to hurt their feelings, no, because you want to express what the fuck you feel. And I said, he said, "Yo, every time I see you, you drop a gem on me where I'm just like sitting there thinking like, oh shit, that's real." He said, "Cause yeah, I do that. And I know other people probably do that." And I was like, that's because the realest place anyone can ever really be is in your own mind. When you get around anyone else, you become fake, motherfucker. Scientists even say it. I figured that out watching a slit experiment. When the atom was looked at, it changed directions. When people are looked at, you act right. Why do you think I use the camera as my greatest weapon? Because it's an eye. Everyone knows you're being watched now. So what do? They go from all that to, because the power of perception, the power of just looking at someone, that's how much power everyone has. You have the power to change things just by looking at it. Two gems for one. Try it, you know? As you're talking to somebody and your inner voice comes in to say, "You're a clown ass nigga," or whatever it is, try to actually say it to them. Stop being afraid to express your true feelings. You know? Unless it's gonna cause a fight. If you know what you're gonna say is gonna make someone so angry that they wanna fight you, or cause, because I told him, I said, unfortunately for me, once you become aware of these things, you can't go back, It's like, I don't know how to explain it. It's just like what I say about the Lord's knowledge. Once I teach you of the Lord, you cannot go back. Why? Because you're going to think of him, and that connects you to him, and then he has his eye on you. Therefore, you're going to change now, whether you like it or not. You don't have a choice. There's no going back. really know where to go with that. I was on to something, but it's really amazing to know that by studying myself and admitting to myself that I do these things. He's like, how you be figuring shit out like that? I said, because I did it to myself. And I said, it's the most dangerous thing to ever do, though. Once you're aware of that truth, and you start being aware of like, yo, I always hold back the truth. I always say, everyone talks, I always say shit in my head, and I never say nothing out loud. You know? See, me, what broke that is I started calling myself a fucking coward because my father said, tell the truth. And I said, yeah, shit, you really are a coward. You won't tell anybody the truth all the time. There's always a moment where now you gotta lie to somebody. Why are these people so important that you have to become a liar? For them, what the fuck is so great about them? Why do you not fear my father more than you fear lying to them? People are so removed from my father. People are so removed from themselves. How can I ever expect you to see the father in anything? You can't even see yourself within yourself. You won't even admit to yourself, some of you, that you have feelings and thoughts. Like I always gotta show the toughest fucking bad guy and shit. And then I just mentioned babies dying and shit, or if your baby died, you still gonna be super hardcore. And then everybody, well, yeah, I probably cry. Unless you're just lost, you're completely gone. A lot of people need to wake up to awareness of a lot of different things, but the little things is the beginning. And all my life I keep hearing people say, yo, you're smart, bro. And I'm like, no, I'm not. I just won't lie to myself. I won't act like these are not truths. So, when other people deny these things and then you say these things, they ain't got no choice but to say, oh, you're smart. No, I'm not. No, I'm not. I just pay attention. That ain't gonna work. I see you niggas coming from a mile away. Oh, man. Yeah. That's right. Do that little look back. Yeah, thank you. Now I know another one. Y'all keep on trying. All love, all praise to the Most High.